Guys, welcome back to part 2 of the 97 318i BMW 1.9 liter M44 rebuild. In this video we're going to be putting a new head gasket on, installing the head. I'll show you how the specs recommend torquing down the head bolts. And I'll put my timing gears back on. If you'll notice in the video, I've got the gears wired to the chain, which I did. I put everything at top dead center and then wired up the gears before I took them off, so I wouldn't have to completely retime it. But after I get the head on, I just put it back at top dead center, put my cam locks in, and reinstall the gears. So hope you enjoy, and we'll see you soon. Timing gears up a little higher because that left timing chain guide kept falling and getting in my way. But anyway, I finally managed to get it on there, and now I'm working on that hose back there. You can see on my timing sprockets, I went ahead and wired them in 2 different places on each one, just so I could keep it in time without having to redo all that. Not much room back there. You would have thought they could have designed that just a little better, not put a coolant hose coming out of the back side of the head. But I eventually finagled it on there and had the hose clamp pointing up so I could get my little, I think it's a little 6 or 8 millimeter socket on there. Had to run and get my ratchet. I finally managed to get it on there and get it tightened up. There's actually 2 hoses that come off the back of it, one big one and one smaller one. I actually couldn't quite remember where I took that. I took the smaller one off the other end there somewhere. I'll have to track it down here later. Now I'm putting my washers on, getting ready for the head bolts, and using a magnet is about the easiest way to do it, because if you just drop them down in there, there's all kinds of little slots that they fall into in the wrong places. So I just put them on a magnet, stick them down in there, and then put my finger on them and pull the magnet back off of them. Double checking that each one is on there. Opening my new head bolts. You always have to use new head bolts because they're stretch bolts, and once they're used one time, they're no good anymore. Put some oil on the threads. Of course, I don't know if you could see it, but the first one I just accidentally dropped down in the quart of oil, and I think I used my magnet to fish it out of there. Got all the bolts in there, just double checking that them little gaskets were lined up on the front of the timing head there. Tried to speed this up a little for you so it wouldn't be too boring, but I'm just threading down the bolts by hand first. After you get them all threaded down by hand, there's 3 parts to tightening these bolts. The first, you want to tighten them 30 Newton meters in the correct sequence to start with. Finally got it set up and set on 30 Newton meters. And the next step after this will be 90 degrees in the right sequence, and
here we go
then
with the
90
first
more
90.
degrees, and that's what BMW specs are. Here we go with the first 90. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Stay tuned for part 3. I'll be putting the intake and the exhaust manifold back on and pretty much everything else, and we'll see if we can get it running. Thanks for watching.